it's Antique K, Yard Sales Arena, here with Uncle Vinty, the Vintage Tool Man, with our yard sale finds for the weekend of June the 28th. Well, it finally quit raining. We just made it home today. It's Sunday, and unloaded our stuff, and it started pouring, so we were really lucky. We went to some wonderful estate sales and yard sales this weekend. Probably the best was a 4-day sale at a 11,000 square foot estate on the Potomac River. It was gorgeous. The home was ginormous, tons of antiques, 5 garage bays, a big old barn, and we got some pretty cool stuff. All right, third day of another estate sale. Let me start with that, and I'll finish up with the cool stuff we got at the other sale. All right. This was the third day of an estate sale in Bowie that some of my friends were running, and it was pretty picked over, but I found a couple of things. I got this neat old vintage table mount apple peeler. It works, it's great, $6 on that. Then I got some of these little trains, and I didn't know much about these, but this is a wind up. Let me see if I can tell you what it is, because I read online. 0 gauge wind up antique steam engine. I paid $3 for it, and one exactly like this in the same condition without the original winder sold for $22. So I think I came out really nice on that. Then I got—
It does work.
It does work. Yeah, it works great. Then I got these 3. It's an engine, I don't know, 3 little mini trains, and they're a set, and they're made by Barclay. And again, I paid $3 for them, and they're worth at least $15 for the set. Some of the sets have been repainted. This is original paint, and I think they look great. And then lastly was this Pullman car original paint from Tootsie Toys. And I paid $1 for that, and that was made between 1937 and 1941 pre-war, and it's worth at least $10. So for someone who doesn't know anything about toys, I think I did pretty well, and I just bought what appealed to me. I like this kind of old vintage, original shape toys. All right, at that same yard sale, they had 2 of these shoes, and you guys, if you've been following along, I have thousands of these. But the reason I bought these was because they really had this unique attachment. Now, we don't have the stand, but I'm hoping we come across one. All right, then I bought a couple of oil lamps. I'll start with this one. This one I paid $20 for. It's a White Light Flame Company, Grand Rapids, Michigan, antique oil lamp. This is milk glass. I do need to clean it up. I paid about $20 for that, and that's worth at least $50 all day, every day. Then this little mini thing, it says Cresoline kerosene. This I paid, what, $4 for. These things, actually you can get a whole fancy stand for them. Back in the day, they used this as a medicinal treatment. You would put the kerosene in the oil lamp, and then you had a nice fancy stand, and above there you would pour some Cresoline. And it was a vaporizer, and it was supposed to cure whooping cough and throat diseases and all kinds of things. Of course, it was quackery, and a lot of the ingredients in the Cresoline are toxic, or were found to be toxic. But anyway, it's highly collectible. So that little thing there is probably worth $15, $20, and if I had the stand, it would go up from there. Okay, something else I got at a couple of different places. One is a neat old vintage dough bowl. Somebody put some varnish or something on it, so I'm going to sand it out so that it has a nice natural finish, which is what a dough bowl would. And then I just have some cool vintage rolling pins and a couple of mashers. I've never seen a masher like that. I don't know, we thought maybe that was a honey dipper. And then this thing, this is a spigot for a wine keg or a wine barrel, and it would actually work. You know, you could actually use that. I think I paid maybe $2 each for these guys, for each one of these. So it came out really nicely with that. Then I got this
Ingram.
Ingram mantle clock. It was 65, so it was half off. It was like $32.50. It works great. It looks great. We have the key, and it's all original. Fabulous buy on that. I think 65 was pretty good with that. Then another one of these Cruette sets. This one again is in really good shape. It actually has the stoppers. I haven't cleaned it at all. It still has salt and pepper in each of these. They had 5 on there, so I paid $12.50 for that, which is an excellent buy. And I think that was it for that particular sale. Then at a yard sale, I got this Frank Brewer Grocery and Provisions, Quincy, Mass. So an advertising jug for $4. She gave me a little bit off. And these 2 vintage spools with the original yarn wrapped on them. They're very large. I got those for what, $5 each. So I was happy with that. And then the last thing are these things. Check these out. We stopped at a fellow dealer's barn. He's just opened up a barn, and he's doing sales out of the barn once a month. And he thought these were for diving, like scuba diving, to weight you down, but they're not. They're manufactured by Billard Barbell Company, and they were in business up in Pennsylvania, near where York Barbell is. And these were actually health and fitness weighted shoes. They would have had straps that came around and held this actually on your foot. And look here, see these holes here? These are for a barbell, you know, the short little, dumbbells. So a short little dumbbell bar would go through there, and you put the collars on so you can increase the weight. I love those. I'm an exercise physiologist, so the fact that they're fitness related was great, and he gave those to me for $8. So, that's not it. I have more to show you, so hold on. Okay, as promised, we're back with some more items. Check this out. It's a gorgeous vintage diamond necklace. Well, of course, it's not diamonds. I got it at the Goodwill. I had to pay $20, which is pretty steep for the Goodwill, but it came with a matching bracelet and earrings. I love it. I've been wearing it all the time. Okay, next up, a kind of diverse group here. We stopped at a barn sale, yet another barn sale, and I got this really neat 400-pound tobacco scale. It says, we haven't been able to make the first of it out, but something brown, New York. And we're going to have to do a little more research. We haven't oiled this one yet. But anyway, it came with a couple of neat weights. And originally he wanted 75. I told him I'd go 50. He told me to come back at the end of the day, which I did. It was still there. He sold it to me for $50. It's worth at least 75. I think he was pretty right on. But in this area, if I clean it up, I could probably get $100 for it. I also got this Buller saw set from him. I paid $5. Uncle Vinty thought that was a little steep, but it really wasn't. I think these sell for around 10 to 15. I like it. It's pretty old. And the last thing I got from him, I was leaving, and I think he almost paid me to take this. It's an Everhot. You can see you can plug it in. This is a, what would you call it, lunch pail. It comes with 2 cords, an old one and a new one. And then, Uncle Benji, can you see in here? You want me to put it down on the ground? So
That's fine.
Oh God, it's heavy. Okay, so you can put your food in there. You got your 2 little containers. It heats up your lunch. You can put your food in here, and off you go. I haven't been able to find one of these online, so I'm continuing to look. I've saved it as a search on eBay. I find Everhot, but not these heated ones. And you can see it's in pretty bad repair. That's like a plastic coating or something. We're gonna wire brush that or get that off, and then we're going to put linseed oil on this and, you know, kind of try to, well, actually you can't. That's dented because it's insulated. Won't be able to fix that. But it'll look much better when we're done cleaning it up. Okay. At a tool sale. Where was the tool sale, Uncle Vinty?
Here in Bowie.
Oh, here in Bowie. Yeah, that's right. Oh, we were really late to this one. Uncle Vinty found some tools that he'll show you at a later date. And then I found this. What did you call this, Uncle Vinty?
Third hand.
A third hand. I thought that was really cool. I thought that'd be great for making jewelry or fixing things. Magnifier and little clips to hold items. Do you remember what we paid for that? Like $1 or something?
Yeah, it's minimal.
All right. And then somewhere I picked this horn up for my really neat old vintage Montgomery Ward bike. I'm going to put that on there. And then a couple other little things. This right here is a really neat old vintage Eagle oil lamp. It's smaller. I liked it. They had several at this particular yard sale. This was the only one that was good, you know, that was old and had some value to it. But they sold it to me for a couple of dollars because it didn't have the chimney on it. I heard them talking. They whispered and said, because I asked them how much. The others had like $10, $15, $20 on them. And they said something, it doesn't have the top. Well, I have tons of tops for the oil lamps. So anyway, I was delighted to get that. And that's it.
The insulator.
Oh, oh yeah, a little insulator. This is a Hemingway number 42. Nothing special about this, but when I can get these for $1, I pick them up. I check to make sure there's no chips in it. And these are just nice. People buy these. They look nice as a decor up in the item up in the window. And you know, you're not going to get more than about $5 for them. But anyway, I do pick them up. Okay. I have one more item to show you, and it is the piece de la resistance. You're going to like it. Hi everyone, it's Auntie K, Yard Sales Arena here with Uncle Vinty, the Vintage Tool Man, with some of our finds from a fabulous estate sale. 11,000 square feet on the Potomac River. Gorgeous home. 5 bays of garages, and then a big old barn. This was the 3rd day of the sale, and everything was half price. So when we got there, were a few of the items that we had hoped to get. People ran in and they beat us and they got them. But I did get a couple of scales. One is this fabulous Howe platform scale. It goes up to 500 pounds. And it still even has the stencil logo, or at least most of the logo. You can see the beam is brass. We haven't cleaned this at all. We wiped it off and that's about it. I did put some oil down on the metal parts. But you can see it's missing the weights. Ironically, as we were leaving, a gentleman came up and said that he had bought the weights the previous day and offered to sell those to us, which we are going to follow up on and hopefully get. Now, originally they had $350 on this scale, but I did my due diligence, and to be quite honest, I offered her $30, and she took it. You know, last day of the sale, this is a big, heavy scale. It does need some cleaning up. It needs a little bit of love, but these actually, the beam is wood. A lot of the paint is original, so we're going to clean it up, and I really do like it. The other scale that I got was this John Cotillion and Sons from New York. And this is, again, a platform scale. And it goes up to 100 pounds. It's a little rusty, but we'll knock that off and put some linseed oil on there, and this will look great. They had 275, was that right, Uncle Mitty, on this?
Something like that.
And she told me the lowest she would go was 75. But I bundled them together for 100. So I was really happy to get these scales.